All right, good morning everyone and welcome to the inaugural Ally Challenge. I'm joined here by Kenny Perry, who won twice here during his PGA Tour career. Kenny, welcome back to Warwick Hills.
Thank you, good to be back.
What feelings and thoughts went through your mind as you pulled up and walked onto Warwick Hills for the first time, and I would imagine a number of years?
Yeah, I just set foot on the property today, and it looks like it's in a time warp. It looks like nothing's changed. Everything looks the same. The golf course, I haven't played yet, but I've just heard of a few trees being taken down. So it was always a venue I truly loved. Always felt very comfortable coming to this golf course. It's a golf course, you got to drive it well. It always had great putting surfaces. And it was just, to me, I just felt very comfortable. Well, the sight lines were always good for me, for my big hook. And it just seemed like I felt comfortable here. So I'm excited to be back. I had a smile on my face when I heard we were coming back here. In 10 years, I guess. I think '09 was the last time that I played here. So looking forward to getting back out there and walking the fairways one more time.
You mentioned a few things you remembered about the golf course. Can you talk about what you remember about the crowd and the fans here in Grand Blanc, Michigan?
Well, I always remember the 17th hole is kind of the starting of the crazies, I think, of what we got now on a lot of tour events with the atmosphere of the noise and excitement and I just remember how vocal it was and all the fans there on 17. And I love the golf. You know, the holes like 12, 13, and 14 to me, holes out here were holes you can either make birdies, eagles, or you can go the other way. You can actually lose the tournament on those holes. One of the years I won here, I remember the 14th hole, a little short par 4. I drove it in the greenside bunker, and it was about a 30 or 40 yard bunker shot, and I'm really not very good at those. And I hit the shot of my life. I hold it for eagle, and that propelled me to a win that year. So a lot of great memories here. I remember 18 having a one shot lead. I remember I drove it down, knocked it on the green. I had a 2-putt to win. That was huge. So just a lot of great memories here.
All right, I'll open it up to questions.
Kenny, how about the historical perspective of being back? You know, this was like the first corporate sponsored tour. They were here for 40 years or whatever it is. How maybe important is it to be back here because of the history that is here?
Well, I mean, you can't thank Buick enough. They gave me 2 cars. I think on 2 of my wins, I got 2 cars. I gave them to my sister. So, but you know, to have a major sponsor and to have a 40-year partnership is pretty incredible. And you know, we're lucky here on we got to thank Ally. I mean, we're lucky here on the Champions Tour to have great sponsors and partnerships out on this tour as well. And we can't thank them enough. And actually pick a great venue to. What I like about the Champions Tour, quite a few of our venues are old tour events that we get to go back to, and we kind of relive our memories. And I just think that's special. I mean, 40 years to be a sponsor, you can't thank Buick enough for their time with us. It was pretty incredible.
Kenny, I think back, in 2007 there was a story back where you unfortunately had hit a woman with a golf ball.
I knew that was coming up.
There was a story recently where someone got a hold of her and said how you had sent her flowers later and all that. I wonder if that.
I did. You know, out of my 35 years of playing on this tour, I'm sure I've hit people before, but this was the lick that stayed with me forever. I was going for 16 and 2, and I drove it in the middle of the fairway, and I hit a 3-wood, and I hit a hook. You know, going into the green, so it's going to the left of the green. You know how the green's right there, and everybody's kind of lined up left side of the green right there. And she was just kind of looking this way, and all of a sudden it hit her square in the nose. I mean, it broke her nose immediately, and the blood was incredible how bad she was bleeding. I thought I killed the poor lady. And Eric actually was in the group with me. He's real squeamish to blood, and he's over there. He's over there gagging when he showed up and he saw all the blood that was around. And I felt so bad. They showed her a picture of her, I think, in the paper the next day. She looked like a raccoon. Both her eyes were black, and her nose was broke. But I was tickled to read that article. I have not seen her. I did send her a dozen roses or flowers, and the article said that she had no effects from the hit, or her nose was fine, and that made me feel a lot better. She said she was coming out this week, so I hope she comes out. I'd like to meet her and personally tell her I'm sorry.
Right to back.
Yeah, on hole 17, do you hope the fans are as crazy as they used to be? I mean, they're 30 years old, or do you want their kids to come out there and kind of pick up where they left off?
Oh yeah, you got to stick with tradition, don't you? I mean, now that I won the Phoenix Open, and now that, the 16th hole is completely encircled, it looks like a football field, and you get booed and everything if you miss the green, you kind of expect it. So that's part of the fun. I mean, it's really, the Champions Tour is not as serious as the regular tour. We're all out here having fun, so yeah, let them have a good time.
Can I have a follow-up? I can testify during the media days, they had us come out, and the putting greens are absolutely spectacular. That must be music to your ears.
Yeah, that's what I always said about this golf course. I remember when Robert Wren shot 2,600 here.
Yep.
And I think it was 26. And every time I set foot, the greens were always, there's a little slope on them, but they're, the surfaces were pure. And if you had got the ball in line, it went in the hole. That's all you can ask is a good surface, a ball is rolling well, and you're very comfortable. It's at holding speed. They're not so fast that they scare you to death. You feel like you can be aggressive putting. And consequently, there's a lot of birdies made here this week. So it's a fun tournament. You got to get after it.
Kenny, is there something special about playing in a smaller town? This isn't a Detroit, it's not Chicago, it's,
Yeah, it's hard to get here when you fly into Detroit. I mean, you got a 70-mile drive. But yeah, it's like a Hilton Head. It's like a golf tournament, when you're kind of secluded and out and away from major cities and all. That's nice. It's not as fast-paced. It doesn't seem like. Traffic's not nearly as bad. You don't have problems getting to the golf course. And yeah, it's just, I'm from a small town. I like a small town atmosphere.
Are the fans different because this is so special to them, because this is kind of their
Well,
Super Bowl?
I think they're probably more polite in a small town. The bigger cities like, New York, they get pretty boisterous and they get pretty, liquidated, I guess you would say, and they get very, very loud.
You were talking about the greens. I mean, you guys get to play in the best conditions in the world. What is it about this course that makes it a player favorite?
Well, you got large surfaces. You got a golf course that's, I guess I would say I don't feel claustrophobic when I'm standing on the tee box. It's tree lined, but yet it gives the fairways are generous enough where you feel comfortable about hitting it. So you usually plan out the fairway, and then you got a big surface to hit into, and they're fairly flat. There's a little bit of slope on some of them, but like I said, they're at holding speed. The ball always bites you. You can be pretty aggressive firing at the flag sticks, and it just makes you feel like aggressive. It just wants you to attack. A lot of courses, like I played Shinnecock this year, the U.S. Open, and I was like, that's the hardest golf course I've ever played in my life. And you had to play defense all the time. You had to shoot to the middle of the green, because if you went at a stick, you're probably going to make 6, make double. So it was, it's a nice change to where you can feel, very aggressive and get after it.
Can you talk a little bit about your season so far? You picked up a win a couple of weeks ago up in Minnesota, and we're trending towards the Charles Schwab Cup playoffs. How do you feel your game is?
Well, it's starting to turn. I was very nervous. I had shoulder surgery November the 15th, so I was out 6 months. And I think I played 11 events coming back already, so I played about 2 months, or 3 months now. And my game is just now starting to come back. Played beautifully at a golf course I knew a lot of there, 3M there in Minneapolis. I've won there twice previous, so I've won 3 times there. Kind of my norm, I won 3 times at Memorial, twice at Colonial, twice. It just seems like when I find a golf course I really enjoy, I feel very comfortable and feel very successful. So I'm kind of way behind the 8 ball here to catch the guys that are leading the Charles Schwab Cup. I've got to do something crazy. I got to win probably 3 or 4 times between now and the finals to even get near the guys at the top. Which is a big ask out here, as good as the players are. So, but I'm excited. I took my top 50 all-time money for next year, so I'm going to actually play some on the PGA Tour next year too. So I'm going to add those at the end of the year to my schedule. So I'm going to put Vegas and Napa Valley and Sea Island in. I'm going to play there. So I've got a lot of golf coming ahead of me, and looking forward to it. My shoulder's good. No pain anymore. I don't have to get the shots I was getting all the time to compete. And just looking forward to playing some good golf.
Right here.
And that's what I asked about the Ryder Cup coming up in a few weeks. You were part of
2 of them. I was on winning and losing team, so yeah.
The win I was thinking was about.
Yeah.
Is that something that when it comes around you still?
Oh, yeah.
Even though you're not part of it, you still kind of get.
Yeah, that was by far one of the greatest accomplishments on my career. Just the feelings of playing in a Ryder Cup, representing your country, wearing the red, white, and blue. And it's just the emotions, the feelings you feel when you're in there, because there's only 12 of you. You spend all week with each other, just great camaraderie. And you just want to win so bad, just not only for your teammate and your coach, but for the country. And, you know, they were pounding on us. And for us to finally get a win at Valhalla was huge. And plus, it was in my home state. I felt like, you know, a rock star out there because I knew so many people there in Kentucky. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We got a great team going to Paris. And I'm looking forward to watching. Yeah, I'm glued to that TV when the Ryder Cup starts.
Right.
Yeah, real quick, you know, there's a tournament coming up next year, the Quicken Loans coming to the Detroit Golf Club. Is there any chance you might tackle that one? It's a new club, and I guess it's an awesome one.
Well, it's not going to be like a world event or anything, is it?
I don't think so, no,
Yeah,
it's
if
just a regular tour
Yeah,
event.
my exemptions get me in everything except the world events and the majors, which I have to earn my way in. So yes, you'll probably see me there at the Quicken Loans.
We'll look forward to it.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Okay, last thing for me, anything around town that you remember? Any special places you went, any restaurants that you like hitting up, anything special about that?
You know what, not for me, because I'm the kind of guy that comes in and I was always staying, I don't even remember where I stayed here. I think there was a Holiday Inn out there. I mean, this was 10 years ago. And I'm the kind of guy that usually eats at the club or just kind of stays in my area. He takes something back to the room, but I'm usually out here 24/7. I was always practicing late, putting late, doing whatever I could to kind of get ready for the event. So I'm not a sightseer. When I come into town to play golf in a tournament, I'm usually working.
All right, anything else for Kenny? All right, thank you very much. Good luck this week.
Thanks, Kenny.